All right. Yes. So, okay, my part's easy. So, what you see right now is the same application running on Windows. And as you can see, I'm logged in as myself. However, the first time I ran the project, at the top of main Lua, what was line 19, did not have a token in it. So I put the code back to no token, and I'm going to relaunch this.
You may
And,
need to log yourself out. It keeps you logged in persistently.
oh, okay, 2 seconds then.
Just click your user profile image there, and
All
it'll
right.
log you out.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Let me go ahead and relaunch once again. Yeah, this is like the only thing I didn't do is log out. All right, good. So it says here, let me make it a little bigger. I don't know why it's so small. Tap the fail wheel to log in, and it's telling me here that basically special case you're running on Windows. I'm going to launch something in a you use system open URL, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just going to click OK, and that brings up a browser, sort of just like what you showed before. And I can go ahead and authorize it. And then it brings me to this page, and here's where I made my mistake. So I'm very lazy, and I basically just grabbed this,
Ah, not the full thing.
right, and then I pasted it in here like that, saved it, relaunched, and I'm like, wait, didn't log me in. So the problem is, read.
You know what? I'm not a big PHP guy. I should see if I can program a button that'll automatically copy that to the clipboard. This is
Okay.
just a PHP.
All right. Well, to the future folks, though, it's OAuth token and then the token. So just go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to do
Yeah,
that.
and it says, like you just said, Ed, it says that in the docs just below it. So, I
For
mean,
lazy people like me. Well, I got the
No,
email
it's
this
okay.
morning.
I
I'm like,
write
okay, I
really
got to do
long
that right now.
emails. Nobody ever reads them. This is no different.
So I put it in, and this is our new OAuth token. I'll relaunch and tap on the whale. And assuming that, yes, here we are, and now I'm logged in. So I just want to say that that is awesome because invariably when you're trying to demo something, uh, in the simulator, it's like it works in OS 10, but it doesn't work on Windows, or it works on Windows, but it doesn't work on OS 10. And you found a way around that, and I think that's really cool. So
Thanks.
kudos.
so I have a question.
Mhm.
So you're putting in the OAuth token, and that is your. What am I trying to say here? So you're the app developer. You're going to include this into your application. So is the image that we're going to see there, is that going to be you, the developer, or is that going to be
That's going to be
the
whoever
user?
logged in. So when you click login and it goes to the Twitter website, if you're already logged into Twitter.com, it's going to automatic on your machine. It's going to automatically say, "Oh, great. Okay, do you, the person who is logged in, want to use this app?"
Okay,
If
so
you are not logged in, it'll first present you with a login screen.
so it'll be the consumer's image.
Exactly. The only information that you as the developer need to pass in are the app's API key and API secret, which you obtain from Twitter's apps site when you set up an app. And that OAuth token that you're seeing on device and on the Mac simulator, it's completely obscured. It's all handled behind the scenes because I'm able to pull data from a URL in a web view. The fact that I can't do that on Windows is why I sort of came up with a hacky workaround of, okay, instead of redirecting back to my app, redirect it to this PHP script that I set up on my own server that sort of just pulls the parameters from the end of the URL string.
Okay,
And,
so that's just a workaround for Windows.
yeah, exactly. And, when eventually, as I'm sure will happen eventually, Corona Labs, gets the mojo working to get native web views in the Windows simulator, I will modify the plugin, and it'll all just be handled behind the scenes.
Okay, cool. Well, I tell you what, looking at that, I think it's very powerful to have someone's picture there. I know a lot of times there are options to share your score or any of that kind of stuff, and it just seems sort of vanilla. It seems sort of sterile, I guess you could say. Is like, hey, I want you to do something for me, right? But if you have that person's picture there, then it's more about them and their followers than it is about you getting what you want as the developer.
Yeah, I mean the plugin is just a tool, but I think what's really cool with it is that it does open up. I mean, there are dozens of endpoints on their API, and I think there's lots of creative uses for that I certainly haven't thought of, but that hopefully this tool allows people to explore in their apps.
Awesome. Okay. Well, very cool. Well, let's maybe we can do this tomorrow night. Maybe let's talk about what the plugin developer process was like. What do you feel like it's like?
Michael was on that call last week, and Michael was my contact at Corona Labs through this process, and he was great. He helped me uncover bugs and walked me through the process of sort of uploading it, which was really pretty easy, and he was a great help through that. So
cool. All right, well that'll be great. Yeah.
One thing here, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that aside from the fact that this is a wonderful product, you definitely have a keen eye for making a very nice demo.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That demo sells me. I'm ready to buy it, and it's free. It's wonderful. It was very elegant. I like it.
Thank you very much. That means a lot.
Yeah, I thought the fill well was a nice touch because that's it's it's one thing to have sort of just a static background or something like that, but making it move around and all that just sort
nothing like stolen art from the web.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but
nice touch though.
See on the video, but the way you did the pulling in the data and it comes in and it goes over the waves and then it goes back.
Well, as we already discussed with my screenshot Saturday, I'm easily distracted by the things that I really probably shouldn't be focused on.
In this case, it paid off.
Well, thank you.
Well, very cool. Well, for people who don't know what we're talking about, every Tuesday we are having a Corona Geek After Dark, which starts at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. Eastern, I guess. If you want to join us, we'll be hanging out on Tuesday nights, and yeah, we'll talk more with Jason about his experience about creating the plugin and getting it published, and I know he hasn't pushed a whole bunch of updates yet, but maybe we could talk about how that process might be improved down the road. So be sure to join us for that as well. So. Okay, and I'll have links to everything in the show notes. So definitely you can go to jasonshorter.com. I'm looking at it right now. There's download the sample project, get the plugin. All of it is there, so you can go there now if you want to, or you can just check the show notes. We'll have those link to everything. So, Stephen, you still with us? You're on mute.
Yeah, I had to unmute.
Yeah, cool. You want to do some shader stuff? So last week we talked about vertex shaders. We looked at some wavy text. What do you have for us this week?
Right. Well, when I did that one, I was using a polygon which had a lot of vertices in order that had several vertices to manipulate. And I may have left the impression that there's no uses for just a 4-point rectangle. I may have even said that because I mentioned that it was really stiff if you did that.
Yeah.
Okay. So after that, I recalled that somebody on the forum had asked me a question. They had seen an old game on the Sega Genesis, Sonic, I think it's Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, and there's a desert level where the different sprites on the screen have a little wave to them. And I took a look at the video and I said, these shaders are brand new. This was a few months back. Let me take a crack at that. And so I did. And this ended up using a vertex shader in a different context than what I mentioned last week, where last week I was just saying, to move the geometry around, or I was showing some fragment shaders that would reduce the image. They would cut away parts of the image. But in this context, I use a vertex shader to make the image wider. So it extends the geometry so that you can apply another effect inside of it. And I will cover that now.